Okay, we're going to go ahead and start the launch. Vamos a empezar con la launch. And so for each of these things, remember it's very similar to what we learned in Unit 8, okay? Es importante que tú estés recordando que este es muy similar a las cosas desde Unidad 8. So let's go ahead and look at our launch. It says, on the second day of practice, Boarder 1 asks the exacting executive manager for a verbal description of her score and how it compares. None of that is really that important. Okay, so esta información no es muy importante y entonces yo voy a continuar. Okay, Boarder 1, I'm going to circle Boarder 1 because that is the one that they're talking about. Y yo voy a poner un círculo en este porque la pregunta está hablando sobre persona 1. Boarder 1 doesn't want her exact score if it's not a whole number. Porque este no es un número entero, ella no quiere saber su punto. So describe, that's a cognate for describir, describe Boarder 1's score, okay, her points. Necesitas describir sus puntos and how it compares, y entonces necesitas comparar sus puntos a las otras personas, her points to the other people, without saying Boarder 1's score. Okay, so it's a little tricky because there's a lot of words. Hay muchas palabras en esta pregunta. So let's decide what we can say. We can say that Boarder 1, I'm going to abbreviate that, B1. Yo voy a escribir B1 por persona 1. Este es B2. This is B2 for Boarder 2. And this one is Boarder 3. So the first thing, I'm going to compare them. Tengo que comparar las tres personas. So I could say B1 is on the right. So this would be mayor que or bigger, greater than. Okay? Remember, it's important that you are writing while I'm writing. Recuerdas, necesitas escribir cuando yo estoy escribiendo. When I move to the left, a la izquierda, it's menor que or less than. So let's think of a way that we can compare them. I could say B1 is greater than B1 es mayor que B3. How would I finish B1 and B2? ¿Cómo puedo comparar B1 y B2? If you said B1 is less than B2, B1 es menor que B2, you're correct. So B2 is on the right, B2 is a la derecha de B1, it's on the right of B1, so it's bigger. In this part, we are going to be comparing two numbers, just like we did in Unit 8. En esta parte, nosotros vamos a comparar dos números, justo como en Unidad 8, okay? So the only difference is that you're going to have to change some fractions to decimals, okay? La única cosa es que tú necesitas cambiar fracciones a decimales. Y recuerdas, cuando nosotros estamos buscando en recta numérica, a la derecha es más grande y a la izquierda es más pequeño. So remember, on a number line, on the right, it's bigger, and on the left, it's smaller, okay? So let's go ahead and continue. So right now, I want us to remember that B1 is less than B2 is a comparison. This is an inequality. Esta es una desigualdad. Okay? Remember that when I have numbers, if I have this, 1 and 3, I'm going to go, okay, well, 1 is less than 3. Uno es menor que tres. What if I had 4 and negative 4? What would you put here? Okay, you need to write in the box either less than, greater than, or equal to. Okay, necesitas escribir en la caja si 4 es menor que, or mayor que, or igual a negativo 4. Okay, if you said greater than, you were correct. Remember, don't forget your number lines. Whenever we use a number line, we can then compare very easily. But in these cases today, your number line is going to have decimals and fractions, okay? But remember, on the right, más grande, mayor. On the right, a la derecha. On the right, bigger than. On the left, less than, okay? Mayor que, menor que. Greater than, less than. 4 es a la derecha de negativo 4. 4 es a la derecha de negativo 4. Y entonces 4 es mayor que. 4 is on the right of negative 4, so 4 is greater than. Okay, ready? Make sure you're using your strategies for this. Take deep breaths. Check your notes, okay? Tú necesitas respirar y necesitas buscar tus notas, okay? So let's start with this right here. Comparing rational numbers. Remember that a rational number is integers and fractions and decimals that end, okay? Y entonces, recuerdas desde ayer, números racionales, hay números enteros y fracciones y decimales que va a terminar. So you can compare negative rational numbers by using a number line. Tú puedes comparar negativo números racionales si tú estás usando una recta numérica. In the same way that you compare positive rational numbers. En la misma manera como tú vas a comparar positivos números racionales. So when we are looking at these, the important thing to remember is to break up our number line. Okay, so if I have negative 1, 0, and 1, I'm going to remember this is mayor or greater than. And this side, este lado, is menor. This side is smaller or less than. In this case, they show me where the fraction is. En este caso, yo puedo ver que yo tengo un tercio, un medio. I can see I have 1/3 and 1/2. 1/3, un tercio, is a la izquierda. It's on the left of 1/2. So 1/3 is less than 1/2. 1/2 is greater than 1/3. Okay, these are all positive. 1/2 is on the right of 1/3. Okay, un medio es a la derecha de un tercio. But what if it's negative? Pero si el número es negativo, es el mismo. Okay, tú necesitas decidir cuál es a la derecha y cuál es a la izquierda. Okay, when you're doing negative, same thing. Which is on the right, which is on the left. When it's negative, and this only works when it's negative. Cuando el número es negativo, y este es solamente cuando el número es negativo, tú puedes hacer algo diferente. Okay, you can do something different only when it's negative. When it's negative, you can ask 2 questions. Tú puedes pedir 2 preguntas. Which value is closer to 0? ¿Cuál valor es más cerca a 0? Or, which value is further to the right? Or, ¿cuál valor es a la derecha? Okay? The value that is closer to 0, el valor que es más cerca a 0, is larger, es más grande. Ese es solamente con negativos. This is only with negatives. So let's look. Y ahora yo tengo negativo 1/3 y negativo 1/2. Y entonces, negativo 1/3 es más cerca de 0. Now I have negative 1/2 and 1 negative 1/3. Because it's negative, I can see which one's closer to 0. Negative 1/3 is closer to 0, so negative 1/3 is bigger than negative 1/2. Okay? Or I can ask which value's on the right. Porque negativo 1/3 es más cerca a 0 que 1/2, negativo 1/2. Un negativo tercio es más grande o mayor que negativo 1/2. Or I can ask which value is on the right. O yo puedo pedir cuál valor es a la derecha. En este caso, 1/3 es a la derecha. In this case, negative 1/3 is on the right. So negative 1/3 is bigger than negative 1/2. And then all we do is we just put in the inequality. In both of these cases, we drew it for you. You can also estimate where something is. Okay, and I'm going to show you this next. Now it says, use an inequality to complete each statement. Necesitas usar desigualdad. Remember that an inequality that we're going to use for this is one of these. So let's go ahead and look at this one. The first thing I see is 1.1. La primera cosa que yo tengo es 1.1. Okay, I need to change my second one into a fraction. Okay, so I have 1/6. So I'm going to put 1 and I'm going to put 6. Okay, 6 times what gets me to 1? 0. I can either add the 0 here or I can put 0.0. 6 times what equals 10? 6 por cuál número es cerca o igual a 10? Y este es 1. 1 por 6 is 6. 1 times 6 is 6. That gives me 4. So ahora yo tengo 1. Lo siento. Sorry. 1 point. I'm trying to figure out 1/6. Right now I just have a 1. And I already have a 1. So I need to continue. I add a 0 and I drop it. 6 times what number? So it'd be 6 is 36. Now I can stop because I have 0.16. So I'm going to add 1.16. 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 6, 0, 6. 6 is bigger, so that makes this side bigger. So when I have a fraction, okay, I have to change it to a decimal. Cuando yo tengo una fracción, tengo que cambiar este a un decimal. Remember, you have lots of room. Hay mucho espacio donde tú puedes escribir tu trabajo. There's lots of space where you can write your work. So let's look at this one. Let's look at B. Negative 1 and 1/3 and 1.6. Oh, I remember from yesterday, I know the fraction for 1/3. Y entonces yo sé que ayer nosotros estábamos hablando sobre 1/3. 1/3, lo siento. Y este es 0.3. 0.33333. This is 0.33333. So I'm going to write negative 1.3. Repeating. Now let's look at the next one. Now I have negative 1.6 or 1 6/10. Which one's bigger? Now remember with negatives, the more the more to the left it is, the bigger it is. So negative 1.3 would be about here. So, negativo 1.3 cerca a este punto. Y negativo 1.6 es probablemente aquí. Okay? Negative 1.6 is probably at this point right here. So this is on the right. Este es a la derecha. So that one's bigger. Okay? Try this one and then write your answer in the box that pops up. Give it a shot. Write what you think. Either write less than, menor que, or you can write greater than, mayor que. Okay? En la caja, tú necesitas escribir menor que or mayor que. Okay? Now let's go ahead and look at this problem. I have negative 0.75, negative 2/3. That was one I told you to memorize yesterday. So I have negative 0.6 repeating. Okay? ¿Recuerdas este ayer? Negativo 2/3 es igual a negativo 0.66666666666. Okay? Está repitiendo. Okay? So now I have 0, 0, 7, 6. Okay? 6. Y si estos números son positivos, 2/3 es menos que 75 centésimas. Pero nosotros estamos hablando sobre negativos. If these numbers were positive, 7500ths would be bigger than 6/10, but these are negative, so it's almost like the opposite. Okay? So if I were to look at this right here, and I were to try and draw it, negative 0.75 would be here, negative 7500ths would be there, and negative 6, or negative 2/3, 0.6, excuse me, would be on the right. Okay? Si yo estoy escribiendo este a mi recta numérica, negativo 0.75 centésimas es probablemente aquí, y negative 2/3, y este es igual a negativo 0.6666, probablemente aquí. Y entonces este es a la derecha, y entonces este es más grande. Okay? It's a little tricky. That's why we're going to be practicing it a lot. Okay? Este es un poco difícil, pero tú puedes hacerlo. Necesitas respirar. Okay, remember, you need to breathe, and then you can keep pausing and rewinding. Okay? 1/4 and 0.35 or 3500ths. I'm going to erase some of this. Yo voy a dar todos estos. Yeah, hay muchas cosas aquí. Okay? Let's first start with 1/4. 1/4 is one you should remember. Un cuarto, think of money. Tú puedes pensar sobre dinero. Okay? Este es 0.25. Recuerda, si yo no puedo recordar, yo puedo dividir. Remember, if I can't remember, I can divide, and I can find the decimal. Okay, so which one's bigger? 0, 0, 0, 0, 2, 3. 3 es más grande que 2. Y este es positivo, y entonces este es grande. Negativo 2/3, negative 2/3. That's one I should memorize. It's right here. Negative 0.6. Negative 4/3. Well, 4/3 is the same as 1, negative 1 and 1/3. So that's going to give me 1.1/3, 1/3, it's right here, 0.3. Now remember, with negatives, the higher the number, the smaller it is. Recuerdas, con números negativos, si el número es más grande, como 1 y 0, negativo 1 es más pequeño. Es el opuesto de positivos. It's the opposite of positives. So I have negativo 0.6, este es más cerca a 0, y entonces este es mayor que. Go ahead and try this next one. Go ahead and write your answer in the box. Okay, let's look at these. I don't have to do anything. This one is positive, este es positivo. This one's negative, este es negativo. Y entonces positivo siempre es más mayor que negativo. Positive is always bigger than negative. Okay? How do we do? Now remember, you're just kind of practicing this. Tú estás practicando ahora. Tomorrow we're going to really review a lot of this too. Mañana vamos a revisar todos de esto. Okay? Let's go ahead and let's try the got it. Go ahead and you can use the number line if you need to, or you can divide it. Go ahead and write your answer in the box. Okay, so they're both negative. Los números son negativos. And now I'm going to say negative 1/2. That's one I should have memorized. Negativo, un medio. That is $50. Tú puedes pensar sobre dinero. $50 would be negative 0.5. Or I could draw it. Here's negative 1 and 1/2. Negative 1/2, excuse me. Este es negativo. Un medio. Y entonces, este es negativo 0.5. Or 5 décimas, okay? Or I can look at negative 0.5, which is 5/10. These are the same, igual, okay? So when we're looking at these, remember, it is really similar. Este es muy similar a 8.2. Si tú tienes tu libro desde unidad 8, tú puedes buscar tus notas desde 8.2. If you have your Unit 8 book, you can use it. Open up to 8.2, have both books. That would be using your thumbs again. That strategy, looking at your notes to kind of help you. You can also draw number lines. Tú puedes dibujar rectas numéricas. And then you can decide which is bigger and which is smaller. Y entonces tú puedes decidir cuál es más mayor y cuál es menor. Now, absolute value is exactly the same as we did with integers, okay? El valor absoluto es el mismo que cuando nosotros estábamos hablando sobre números enteros. Recuerdas que valor absoluto, absolute value, es la distancia desde cero, is the distance from 0. So let's go ahead and look at their example. Y entonces así vamos a buscar el ejemplo. So I have 1 2/3, 1 y 2/3, y negativo 1 y 2/3. So we have 1 2/3, and we have negative 1 2/3. They are the same distance from 0. So 1 2/3 is 1 2/3 from 0. Así, 1 y 2/3 es, la distancia es 1 2/3 desde 0. Y entonces el valor absoluto es 1 y 2/3. So its absolute value is 1 2/3. When I'm looking at negative 1 2/3, the absolute value is still 1 2/3. Y cuando estoy buscando a negativo 1 y 2/3, la distancia desde 0 es 1 y 2/3 otra vez. Y es el mismo, porque distancia no es negativa. That's because distance is never negative. So as we do each one of these, okay, now we're putting it together. We're looking at absolute value, and we're looking at fractions and decimals, and we're comparing them. Y nosotros vamos a buscar el valor absoluto, fracciones y decimales, y desigualdades. Okay, so let's look at this first one. 1.25, el valor de absoluto de 1 y 25 centésimas. The absolute value of 1 and 25 hundredths. Well, that's going to stay the same. Y es importante que tú estás escribiendo abajo de el número. It's important you're writing below the number. Now I have 1 1/2. Yo voy a pensar sobre el medio. Okay, I'm going to think about half. Well, my 1 stays the same. Y uno va a quedar mismo. Yo necesito un punto. I need a point. 1/2, that's 0.5. Y este es 0.5. The absolute value is simply 1.5. El valor absoluto es simplemente 1.5. 1, 1, 1, punto, punto, 2, 5, 1, 1, point, 2, 5. 5 es más grande, 5 is bigger, so that one's bigger. Okay, go ahead and look at this one right here. Okay, change -1/3 into a decimal. Use your example from this page here. Okay, tú puedes usar tu ejemplo desde esta página o tú puedes buscar la primera página en tu libro, or you can look at the first page in your book. Lo siento, I can't. Okay, see. All right, so you're gonna go ahead, and I want you to try this one. Necesitas tratar esto. You need to try and put an answer in the box. Is it less than or greater than or equal to? Necesitas escribir en la caja. Es menor que, mayor que, or igual a. Okay? Okay, let's go ahead and check it. So I have absolute value of -1/3. Well, -1/3 is -3 repeating, but I want absolute value. So that leaves me with 3/10 repeating. I'm sorry, not negative, because it's absolute value. Okay, so now I'm going to try the next one. Now I have -67 Ahora yo tengo negativo 67 centésimas. Okay, so it's absolute value. So it's just going to change into a positive. Absolute value is never negative. Valor absoluto siempre, siempre, siempre no es negativo. Okay, now I look 3, 6. If you said menor que, or if you said less than, you were correct. All right, let's look at the next one. Try C. What did you get? Okay, if you said 1 1/2, this would change. Listen, I'm sorry, this hard. Sorry. Okay, you said 1 1/2. I need this bigger. It's hard to write on. And you said 1 1/2, and you said equal. You were correct. All right, let's try this one. -1.8 would change to 1.8. Este va a cambiar a 1.8 porque es el valor absoluto. Y entonces aquí, este es el mismo de -1.5. That's the same as -1.5. So I have 1.5. 1.5 is less than 1.8. Okay? Try this one. Okay, 1/2 is 1/2, and this is 1/3. I could change those and have 0.5 and 0.3 and say this one's bigger, or I can think of like a box. If I had half, that's more than if I had the same box and I cut it into thirds, okay? O yo puedo dibujar un rectángulo o una caja y entonces un medio como este es mayor que 1/3. Okay, let's go ahead and try the next one. Go ahead, put your answer in the box. If you said that this is 1.8 and this is 0, 1.8 is greater. Absolute value will always be bigger than 0 unless 0 is in the box. Okay? Valor absoluto va a estar más mayor que 0 y entonces porque este es positivo. Unless, pero si yo tengo 0 en el valor absoluto y entonces este es 1. Okay? So at this point, how do we do? Okay? So I want to know right now in the box, I want to know, how are you doing? Okay? Y yo quiero en la caja. ¿Cómo estás haciendo con las cosas en esta actividad? How are you doing on the things in this activity? Okay. 1 to 10. 1 a 10. 1 es no entiendo nada. 1 is I don't understand anything. 10, yo entiendo todo. 10, I understand everything. Go ahead and put your answer in the box. Now we're going to go ahead and finish up with just like we did in the other one. We're going to talk about dolphins, okay? But first, compare these for me. Put your answer in the box. Okay, negative 2/3. That's when I told you to memorize. Este es una decimal muy importante. Es como esto. See why I had you memorize it? That one comes up a lot, okay? So that would change to 0.6. It makes it a lot faster when you know the decimal. Es más rápido cuando tú sabes el decimal. Y entonces este es porque tú tienes esto con unos de los ejemplos en tu libro en la primera página. That's why you have this one, negative 2/3, in your book on the first page. Okay, this one is negative 0.5, which is simply 5/10. So this one's bigger. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and look at this one here. Okay. You have 2 dolphins. Okay. 2 dolphins. And I want to know what is the meaning of 0 and who went deeper. Okay. Y entonces yo quiero la significa de 0 igual Dolfino, que es más abajo que lo otro. Okay. So en este, 0 significa que. Okay, so si este es negativo y este es negativo. So if these are negative, what is 0? Okay, if you said 0 is the top of the water, you would be correct. The top aquí es 0. Esta parte aquí del agua. Okay, this part right here is 0. So now I want to know which dolphin went deeper. Okay. ¿Cuál es abajo del otro? Which is below the other. In this case, if I was looking at the negative, then I would say this one right here, this one is smaller than, right? But remember, distance is never negative. Okay, si yo estoy buscando este, yo pienso que este es más pequeño que este número. Y entonces yo necesito el valor absoluto. I need the absolute value. So that would change this to 0.547. Okay, so 547 milésimas, 547 thousandths, or 45 thousandths, or 45 milésimas. 0.5. Este es menor que lo otro. Y entonces este es abajo del otro. So let's look at just this last one. It says compare the absolute value of a bottlenose dolphin. So I'm looking at absolute value of the regular. Okay, so I want absolute value. Yo quiero valor absoluto de esto. To the absolute value of the trained dive. Absolute value. Y entonces yo quiero la significa. I want the meaning. So absolute value of regular dive. So I'm going to start with the absolute value. And I have once again 0.45. 45 thousandths is less than 547. So what does this mean? Okay, ¿qué es la significa de este? That means that the dolphin went lower. Okay, so it went more. This one, I'm going to label them A, B. B went, fue, a longer distance. B fue a una distancia más larga. ¿Ok? Y este es importante porque recuerdas que distancia no es negativa. Okay, so this is important because remember, distance is never negative. Okay? Once again, I want to know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about this? Okay? Once again, I want to know, otra vez, a una escala de 1 a 10, ¿qué es su número? 1, yo no entiendo nada. 1, I don't understand anything. 5, yo necesito practicar, pero yo entiendo algo de esto. Okay. 5, I understand some of it, I need to practice. 10, yo entiendo todo. 10, 10, I understand everything. Okay, go ahead and put your number. I want you to try your homework. Tomorrow I'm going to go over this and we're going to spend some time just practicing, okay? Y entonces tú necesitas tratar la tarea. Pero mañana nosotros vamos a revisar todos de esto. So if you are really having a hard time on the homework, just do what you can and then pause on it and you can do it tomorrow too, okay? Y entonces si tú tienes muchos problemas con la tarea, tú puedes pausar, tú puedes parar y entonces tú puedes hacer más mañana, okay? Porque nosotros vamos a practicar más mañana, okay? Because we're going to practice more tomorrow. Good luck. Try it. Remember, you can review this video. Recuerdas que tú puedes revisar este video. Buena suerte. You can do it. Okay? Good luck. You can do it. Tú puedes hacerlo. Okay? Good job.